Mental Health Mondays, hosted by Nicole Clay and Michaela Armstead, is the weekly dose of hope and health you didn't know you needed. Episodes are 30 minutes or less and cover a main topic each week. Watch live at 7 p.m. or on demand on Facebook or YouTube.
Good afternoon. Welcome for another episode of Mental Health Mondays. Today, we are here with Michaela Armstead, who will talk to us about self-soothing versus self-care. I am Minister Nicole with First Baptist Church of Detroit. I am also a limited licensed professional counselor. I have a licensed minister of First Baptist. I have a master's degree from Ashland Theological Seminary in counseling, and I love to encourage people, help them maintain mental wellness, and get to mental health. Michaela, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Michaela Armstead, and I'm the founder of the Sunflower Factory, which is a mental health blog, and I'm actually also a law student. So, yeah.
Michaela, and she also has a bachelor's degree in psychology.
I do, yes, from the Howard University.
The Howard in magna cum laude.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your blog and about self-soothing versus self-care.
Sure. So I started the Sunflower Factory when I was at Howard. I just really felt like my mental health wasn't as mature as it could be, or just in a good place. And so I just started writing about it. And at first I started blogging, not to really share with anybody, but just to kind of write. I've really always been into journaling. So it was very easy for me to just type instead of journaling with a pen to paper. And as time went on, I realized that other people would benefit from hearing my revelations and the journeys that I was on and the things that were important to me and things I was talking about. So I just kind of started promoting my blog, and yeah, that's kind of how the Sunflower Factory happened. Right now, we're really just focusing on giving people tools to prioritize their own mental health and their mental health journey. So yeah.
Tell me why you named it the Sunflower Factory.
Sure. Okay. So my blog actually at first was called Renee Sunflower. And it was because when I was a freshman, I was watching this video. I don't even know, maybe it was a TED Talk about from the founder of Carol's Daughter. And she said she made a list of like everything that she was. And I always feel like my mom is like really a sun. Like she's just bright, smiling all the time. Everybody loves her. Like, she's just a sun. If you know my mom, then you know.
Sunshine all the time.
So I felt I named my blog Renee Sunflower because I felt like I was kind of like a product of her son. And yeah. And then over time, I changed the name to the Sunflower Factory because I wanted to help other people bring the sunflower out in themselves, as opposed to just kind of being about me and my journey and what I was going through. So that's how we got to the Sunflower Factory.
Right. And you also shared with me one time that the sunflower always turns toward the sun.
Yes.
And so it's a way, it kind of speaks to eternal optimism.
Absolutely.
The sunflower, no matter what's going on, the sunflower is going to shift toward the sun. I actually have a sunflower in my backyard now. And that is true. It all throughout the day, it shifts. It turns to where the sun is.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about self-soothing versus self-care.
Sure. So like I said, my mental health journey, I think me being cognizant of my mental health started probably about freshman year. So I was 17 and I realized that I kind of was just burnt out. I had a lot of stuff going on, always had something to do. Mm-hmm. And what I would do was on Friday morning, I would literally get anything I wanted. Like I would be like, okay, well, I'm going to go to Chipotle. I'm going to go to Starbucks. I'm going to sit and watch movies. Like that's going to be my like self-care day, or that's what I was calling it. But as time went on, I realized that that was more self-soothing behavior versus actual self-care. And at this point in my life and at this point in my journey, I realized there is a time and a place for both. There are some times where you're just tired, overwhelmed, a lot going on, and you need to self-soothe. You need to feel good and do things that feel good to you. But also, I've learned that self-care is actually putting the work in to heal from things, to practice forgiveness, to make peace with things, and then be able to move on from things. And so that's kind of two different things. Me just slapping the band-aid on and being like, okay, well, I'm going to eat Chipotle and watch my favorite movie is not actually working on my mental health and working to move forward and progress as a person and as a woman. So I think that it took a lot of maturity for me to realize that those were two different things. And I think that in pop culture, we kind of confuse the two because it's like, oh, I'm going to spend $100 at Zara, that's self-care. But really, it's not self-care, it's just self-soothing. So I think the first step is being mindful of that those are two different things and that there is a place for both of them. But you have to realize what you may need, because what you may need is not, you might not need to sit for 2 hours and watch a movie. You may need to sit for an hour and think about some things, maybe journal about some things, think about what's making you so frustrated or what's making you angry or why you're reacting to certain things in a certain way, as opposed to just slapping the Band-Aid on. So that's kind of self-care versus self-soothing.
Okay. Would it be fair to say that self-care is more of a maintenance program, like a way of behavior that you need to engage into to maintain mental wellness, or self-soothing may more often be in response to events, specific events, like to soothe?
Yes, I could say that. I would say instead of maintenance, like continuous growth, because mental health and mental wellness is not a linear journey, and it never will be. You can feel like you're doing everything that you need to do, and something can just happen as life does, and it can really shake you up. And that can be on no part of your own self. It's just kind of how life happens, unfortunately. So I think that using the word maintenance makes it kind of seem like once I achieve good mental health, I'm there and all I have to do is maintain it. But it's never going to be a linear journey. And you're always going to go through things that, you might be in a season where my mental health is really, really great, but maybe my physical health isn't so great, or my physical health is really, really great, but I'm not feeling it, So I think that, yes, to answer your question, I think that it is a tool to try to achieve a higher level of mental health, but as opposed to self-soothing may, be kind of just like a response to an event. And that's okay. It happens. Or maybe it's no event. Maybe you're just burnt out, and that's okay too.
It may be in response to like realizing, hey, I'm at my limit.
Yeah.
And I think I agree with you. Self-soothe, that you have to be able to self-soothe in healthy ways. You have to, because if you can't, you'll never de-escalate the emotions that are going on inside of you. So both of them are good, both of them are necessary. Yeah. What would you, in which category, if either, would you put journaling?
I definitely think journaling is self-care. I think that journaling can be self-soothing sometimes. But I would say generally it's probably in the self-care bag. And I'm saying that because, sometimes when you're journaling, or I'm going to speak for myself, when I'm journaling, I can be the most honest I can be with anybody, like sometimes you might feel judged for being like, no, I felt some type of way when she did that. And it's like, well, I shouldn't feel any way, but I did. So, but I can go to my journal and be like, no, I was pissed when she did this, or I was upset when he did this, So I do think it's self-care, but I also think it can be self-soothing, because I've had times for sure where I'll just write down in my journal when I feel like my life is just a mess and in shambles. I'll go to my journal and I'll just write down like, what would a perfect life look like? And I think that is self-soothing behavior. There's a place for that, but I think it's different than me trying to figure out why I'm so upset, as opposed to me just being like, well, in my perfect life, I would wake up like this, and then I would go do this, and then I would come home to my mansion and sit on the beach until I fell asleep, So it could be both, to answer the question.
Yeah, journaling is such a diverse tool.
It is.
There are so many approaches to journaling, and what it does, one of the greatest benefits, I think, is it helps you process those emotions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Suggestions for our,
Um,
for our viewing audience.
I'm sorry, what did you
Any
say?
suggestions for our viewing audience regarding
Um,
self-soothing versus self-care?
Yeah, so I would say, and I pretty much say this about any kind of mental health journey, never judge yourself. If you're watching this right now, like, dang, I'm really a self-soother, it's okay. Like, it's 100% okay. The journey is not linear and you don't have to be at a certain place by a certain time. Maybe self-soothing behavior is all that you have the mental capacity for right now, and that's okay. Don't judge yourself or judge your journey ever, and just, be along for it.
Yeah, I really like that. I think there's a quote by Arthur Ashe. I believe it says, use what you have to do what you can, or something to that effect.
Yeah,
Basically, he's saying wherever you are, make the most of it. And
absolutely.
that goes for emotionally too. Hey, this is your best today. Just do your best for today. And I think that alleviates so much pressure. And one day at a time.
Yes, yes.
All right. Any parting words, Miss Michaela?
Um, just live your life for you, and do what you can. That's just gonna be the sum of the day. Do what you
All
can.
right. I love it. Well,
All
that is all for this Monday's Mental Health Monday. Thank you for joining us. Again, please check out past episodes on YouTube, on First Baptist Detroit website, which is firstdetroit.org. What am I forgetting?
I think that's it.
That's it. Okay, YouTube or firstdetroit.org. Thank you for
Yes.
joining us.
Yes. Bye.
Bye bye.